Of course, every woman enjoys kind words. Appreciation feels good. Being noticed feels good. But when those words come from a man who is calm, steady, and genuinely self-assured, they land in a completely different way. They don't feel like an attempt to impress. They don't feel strategic. They feel like recognition. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 8 compliments women genuinely love hearing from older men, and more importantly, why they work on a deep psychological level. These aren't lines. They aren't tricks. They're not tactics you memorize and deploy. They're observations. And women are incredibly sensitive to the difference. Here's something most men misunderstand. They think a compliment is supposed to do something. Spark attraction. Create interest. Trigger desire. Get a reaction. That mindset is exactly why so many compliments fall flat. The moment a compliment is trying to get something, it loses its strength. Women don't just hear the words. They feel the intention underneath them. They can sense whether the words are coming from calm awareness or from need. Compliments fail when they're driven by hunger. They succeed when they come from clarity. Keep that in mind as we move through this list. The first compliment women deeply appreciate from an older man is this: I appreciate how comfortable you are with yourself. Notice what this does. It's not flattering her appearance. It's not elevating her above others. It's recognizing her ease. Most women spend years feeling watched, compared, evaluated by social media, by society, by men, and sometimes by their own inner critic. There's constant pressure to perform, to look a certain way, to be interesting enough, desirable enough, successful enough. When a man calmly says he appreciates how comfortable she is in her own skin, something shifts. She feels seen beyond the surface. She feels accepted without needing to try harder. It doesn't inflate her ego. It relaxes her nervous system. And when someone feels accepted, trust begins to form. The second compliment women love hearing from older men is this: you have a calm presence. It's refreshing. Calm is rare. Think about the world we live in: constant notifications, emotional drama, intensity everywhere. So many interactions are loud, rushed, or chaotic. Calm feels safe. It feels steady. When an older man acknowledges a woman's calm presence, he's not reacting to how exciting she is. He's responding to her energy at a deeper level. He's saying, you're emotionally regulated. You're grounded. You don't create chaos just to feel alive. That message is powerful. It tells her she doesn't need to be dramatic to be valued. She doesn't need to compete for attention. Her steadiness is enough. And many women crave that kind of recognition more than they admit. The third compliment women truly value is this: I enjoy the way you think. This one goes straight to identity. It communicates that you're actually listening. Not waiting for your turn to talk. Not scanning for an opportunity to impress her with your own story. Not mentally checking out while she speaks. You're present. You're curious. Older men tend to deliver this naturally because they're less concerned with proving themselves. They've already done enough of that in life. They're more interested in understanding. And here's something important: being seen intellectually can feel even more intimate than being admired physically. Physical attraction is easy. Mental connection is rare. When a woman feels like her thoughts matter, she leans in. The fourth compliment women appreciate is this: you don't try too hard, and that's attractive. Many women feel subtle pressure to perform in social situations. To be charming. To be witty. To keep things interesting. To maintain a certain image. When a man notices her effortlessness, it sends a powerful signal: you don't need to prove anything here. That creates space. It removes tension. And attraction doesn't grow in pressure, it grows in ease. Now, if you're noticing a pattern, it's this: none of these compliments are about appearance. That's not accidental. Women don't want to feel evaluated like a checklist. They want to feel understood as individuals. The fifth compliment that resonates deeply is this: you have depth. Not everyone does. Depth implies layers, experience, emotional awareness, substance. When an older man says this, it carries credibility. He's had time to observe people. He's learned the difference between surface charm and genuine substance. This compliment makes a woman feel chosen for who she truly is, not idealized for who she appears to be. And that feels rare. The sixth compliment women love hearing from older men is this: I respect the way you handle yourself. Respect is stronger than praise. Praise can feel hierarchical. Respect feels equal. When you tell a woman you respect how she carries herself, how she sets boundaries, how she communicates, how she navigates situations, you're placing her on level ground. You're not trying to dominate. You're not trying to impress. You're acknowledging her autonomy. And respect builds attraction in a quiet, steady way. It doesn't spike emotions. It creates stability. We'll continue with the final two compliments, and the deeper mistake most men make with compliments, in the next part. The seventh compliment women deeply appreciate from older men is this: you don't need to prove anything, and that shows real confidence. This one is subtle, but it hits hard. A lot of women move through life feeling like they have to justify themselves, their choices, their boundaries, their career paths, their relationship standards, even their emotions. There's this constant undercurrent of explanation, of defending who they are. When a calm, grounded man recognizes that she isn't performing for approval, that she isn't over-explaining herself, that she stands in her decisions without noise, that acknowledgement feels powerful. It tells her you see her strength without trying to challenge it. There's a big difference between confidence that demands attention and confidence that doesn't need it. Older men tend to recognize the second kind. The quiet kind. The kind that doesn't post, doesn't announce, doesn't compete. It simply exists. When you say she doesn't need to prove anything, you're communicating that you're not here to test her. You're not evaluating her worth. You're observing her stability. And that creates relief. Relief is underrated in attraction. Everyone talks about excitement, chemistry, sparks. But relief, feeling like you can just be yourself, is what makes someone stay. Which brings us to the eighth and final compliment women love hearing from older men. I enjoy being around you. It feels easy. This might sound simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Ease is rare. In many relationships and dating experiences, there's tension, subtle competition, power dynamics, performance, trying to say the right thing, trying not to say the wrong thing, trying to impress, trying not to appear too interested. It's exhausting. When a man says it feels easy to be around her, he's saying something much deeper. He's saying, there's no pressure here. There's no stress. There's no emotional drain. You don't complicate my world, you add comfort to it. And comfort is deeply attractive. Comfort doesn't mean boring. It means safe. It means natural. It means you can exhale. People stay where they can exhale. Now, let's talk about the mistake that ruins most compliments. The mistake is using them as currency. Too many men give compliments like they're making a transaction. I'll say something nice, and hopefully I'll get attention, validation, affection, or attraction in return. But the moment a compliment is attached to an outcome, it changes the energy. It stops being appreciation and starts being strategy. And women feel that shift immediately. It's not that women dislike compliments. It's that they dislike manipulation. Older men tend to succeed here because they're not bargaining. They're not fishing. They're not trying to trigger something. They're simply noticing. There's a quiet power in observation. When you observe without trying to control the result, your words carry weight. They don't feel like a hook. They feel like clarity. Another key difference is emotional stability. Younger men often compliment from excitement. Older men compliment from steadiness. Excitement says, I really like you, please like me back. Steadiness says, I see this about you, and I appreciate it. One is seeking validation. The other is offering recognition. That's why the tone matters more than the sentence itself. You could say the exact same words, but if they're delivered with need, they'll feel different than if they're delivered with calm certainty. Women are extremely attuned to emotional subtext. They listen between the lines. They read body language. They sense tension. If your compliment feels like it's asking for reassurance, it loses strength. If it feels like it stands on its own, it becomes attractive. There's also something else happening psychologically. When an older man gives a grounded compliment, it signals experience. It signals that he's seen enough to recognize quality when he encounters it. That he isn't easily impressed. That he isn't handing out praise carelessly. Scarcity creates value. If you rarely speak, but when you do, it's thoughtful and measured, your words carry more impact. That's why these 8 compliments work. Not because they're clever. Not because they're poetic. But because they're rooted in awareness instead of performance. And here's something important. You don't have to be a certain age to deliver compliments like this. Older in this context isn't just about years. It's about emotional maturity. It's about self-regulation. It's about not needing every interaction to feed your ego. You can be 30 and grounded. You can be 55 and insecure. Age alone isn't the factor, stability is. When you move through the world without trying to extract something from every interaction, your energy shifts. You start noticing instead of chasing. You start appreciating instead of proving. And women respond to that. Because at the end of the day, attraction isn't built on intensity alone. It's built on how someone makes you feel about yourself. If your words make her feel evaluated, she'll tense up. If your words make her feel understood, she'll soften. That's the difference. So instead of asking, what compliment will make her like me? Ask, what do I genuinely observe about her that I respect? That shift changes everything. If this felt different from the typical advice you hear, it's because this isn't about doing more. It's about seeing more. Older men don't attract by overwhelming. They attract by perceiving. They notice comfort. They recognize calm. They value depth. They respect boundaries. They appreciate ease. And they speak from a place of stability, not strategy. Now I'm curious, out of these 8 compliments, which one feels the most natural for you to say? Which one aligns with who you are? Before we close this out, there's one more layer to understand, because if you truly grasp this, your entire approach to attraction changes. Compliments from grounded men don't create connection out of nowhere. They reveal connection that's already forming. That's the difference. When a man is trying to manufacture attraction, his words feel inflated. They feel premature. They feel like they're reaching. But when a man is simply articulating what he genuinely perceives, his words feel aligned. They match the moment. They match the energy. And alignment is powerful. A lot of modern dating advice focuses on tactics, what to say, when to say it, how long to wait, how to create tension. That mindset turns every interaction into a performance. It keeps you calculating instead of connecting. Older, emotionally mature men operate differently. They're not trying to optimize every sentence. They're not trying to hack psychology. They're paying attention. When you truly pay attention to someone, compliments arise naturally. You don't have to search for them. You notice how she listens carefully before responding. You notice how she doesn't interrupt. You notice how she handles awkward moments without panicking. You notice how she's comfortable sitting in silence. And when you calmly speak those observations, it feels grounded because it is grounded. Another important point, timing matters. Even the best compliment can fall flat if it's delivered too early or too intensely. Older men tend to pace themselves. They don't unload admiration all at once. They let connection build gradually. Why? Because emotional pacing shows self-control. Self-control signals strength. And strength, quiet, regulated strength, is deeply attractive. Think about it this way. If a man immediately starts showering a woman with praise, it can feel like he's projecting an image onto her. He's filling in the blanks before he's truly seen her. But when appreciation unfolds over time, it feels earned. It feels specific. It feels personal. Specificity is key. There's a difference between "you're amazing" and "I respect how you stayed calm in that situation." One is vague and easy to say to anyone. The other proves you were paying attention. Attention is intimacy. And intimacy doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. It can be quiet. It can be steady. It can grow slowly. Another reason these compliments resonate is because they don't objectify. They don't reduce her to her appearance. They don't rank her. They don't compare her to other women. Comparison creates insecurity. Observation creates security. When you say, "You have depth," you're not saying she's better than someone else. You're acknowledging something intrinsic. When you say, "I enjoy being around you, it feels easy," you're not putting her on a pedestal. You're describing your experience in her presence. That distinction matters. Because pedestal energy creates pressure. And pressure erodes attraction over time. Here's something most people don't talk about. Sustainable attraction feels calm more often than it feels explosive. Explosive chemistry is exciting, but it's often unstable. Calm attraction builds trust. It builds consistency. It builds emotional safety. Older men understand this because they've seen intensity burn out. They've learned that peace is more valuable than adrenaline. And women who are emotionally mature are drawn to that realization. If you want to embody this kind of presence, focus less on crafting perfect lines and more on regulating your internal state. Slow down your speech. Pause before you respond. Listen without planning your reply. Hold eye contact without forcing it. When your body language is relaxed and your tone is steady, even simple words carry more weight. Confidence isn't volume. It's steadiness. And steadiness can't be faked for long. It has to come from self-acceptance. That's why the real foundation behind these compliments isn't technique, it's inner security. If you feel complete on your own, your words won't chase. They won't cling. They won't overextend. They'll simply express. And expression without expectation is magnetic. One final thought. Not every woman will respond the same way. And that's okay. The goal isn't universal approval. The goal is authentic alignment. When you speak from grounded awareness, the women who value emotional maturity will feel it immediately. The ones who thrive on chaos or constant intensity may not. And that's not a loss. It's clarity. Attraction isn't about convincing everyone. It's about resonating with the right ones. So instead of asking, "How can I make my compliments more impressive?" ask, "Am I calm when I say them? Am I expecting something back? Am I speaking because I truly noticed something?" If the answer is yes, you're already operating differently than most men. That difference is subtle, but it's powerful. If this series on compliments shifted your perspective even slightly, take a moment to reflect before jumping to the next video.